Previously on Disruptive Pitch.
Forrester estimates that it's about 14 billion big in Europe, and it's going to double in the next 3 years.
You see that as a replacement for that in one element on a commercial level?
I think our vision really is to basically work with the existing and incumbent cloud vendors, or the providers of technology for cloud.
If you're a Fluid Ads customer, you can build your ads using our proprietary templates.
Part of the appeal of this is getting rid of the agencies, which some people might find a glorious concept.
Contestants from all over the UK have come to pitch their ideas to 4 of the industry's leading technology specialists. Emerging and startup technology companies have come to London for their chance to have their pitch heard. Judges Neil Cattermole and Andrew McLean from Compare the Cloud will be joined by guest judges each month. But this isn't about delivering just any pitch. It's about who's got what it takes to deliver the perfect pitch.
Hi and welcome to Disruptive Pitch, where the voice meets university challenge. I'm still your host, David Fern, and welcome to episode 3. Last month we had 2 great winners, Tutela and the Open Voice Company, and they both go on to Team Neil and Team Andy to our grand final live at Cloud Expo Europe in March. Not just winning the opportunity to pitch in front of a live studio audience, but also getting the opportunity to win a keynote position at that year's conference. So, 9 ISVs this week, 9 startups. Let's see how they get on. Hi, how you doing?
I'm very well, how are you?
You're good, brilliant, thank you very much. So, what's your name and where'd you come from?
So my name is Joel Blake, I'm the founder of Felix and I'm from Birmingham.
Fantastic. So, you do lots of pitching, do you get out and about? Do you see lots of judges like this and competitions?
Yeah, I mean, I always try and get out there as much as possible and
Yeah.
really just, get my business out there, keep practicing. Every time you pitch, you learn something new about yourself,
Yeah,
about your
definitely.
technique, about the style. So yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity.
Perfect, fantastic. Well, look, I won't hold you up any longer.
Thank you
Good
very
luck
much.
in front of the judges and have fun and we'll see you back in here afterwards.
Thank you very much, cheers.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
So, another one goes in. Let's see how he does.
My name is Joel Blake and I'm the founder and CEO of Felix. Felix is a resource management platform for professional services firms. Finding the most cost-effective way of spending money on company resources can be very time-consuming and costly, often due to inflexible legacy technology and pressures on internal costs. So we've created a platform that allows us to take data from all types of resource spend and then analyze that information against a number of different financial measures, such as customer lifetime value, all in our cloud. That allows us to give our clients bespoke insight to help them to make better business decisions. And our clients can also create their own custom financial measures all within the platform. We have created a cross-sector platform that allows us to tailor to the needs of any type of client. But we're focused on the wealth management sector, where 4 in 10 customers have said they'd be willing to leave their wealth management firm if a better opportunity arose. That's an estimated £200 billion in revenue that could be lost within the industry. Now, our competitors specialise in project management, expenses and investment management software. But what we are really focusing on is on making sure that we can get deeper analysis on any resource spend, so then our clients can ensure that they can improve their profit margins more effectively. I've spent over 10 years in business development. I've previously co-founded and exited a finance company where we assessed the needs of over 700 businesses. And I was humbly awarded an OBE this year from the Queen for services to business support. My CTO previously worked for Cisco and Telefonica and has already exited 2 tech startups himself. And my CFO previously worked for one of the top 4 accountancy firms in insolvency and merger and acquisitions, so he understands how to mismanage resources but also manage them well. And we also outsourced the build of our products to a firm where the CEO himself has already worked on over 200 technology projects across Europe and has also worked on platforms for Barclays, HSBC, Worldplay and many others. When I came up with the idea for the business, I thought it was important to source initial funding, and I successfully raised £40,000 of angel and business loan investment and also received EIS approval for our next round of funding. Also, and what's been really important in testing that model, and we did that with an organisation where we created an 80% accuracy rate on new business opportunities versus their standard 35% in 20 minutes. Estimated a saving of £80,000 on marketing and staffing costs. And we plan to go to market using a white license model for enterprise level customers so they can use our technology across teams, offices and departments. But also we used to execute a reseller strategy to organisations who already have access to a large volume of business customers. So moving forward, what does the future look like for us? Well, for us, we see ourselves as a business that can scale very quickly by working in partnership with other organisations rather than trying to completely disrupt traditional markets. That's why we're seeking to work with the wealth management market first. But we are then seeking to raise investment to help us to invest heavily into our product development so we can turn from a platform to a plugin and then go for aggressive scale by working with partners such as CRM platforms, accounting software and so forth. And so what I'll be looking for an ask is work with organisations or the opportunity to speak to them to see how our technology can link into their existing technologies and also their wider ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joel. That was a very confident pitch, and well done on your OBE. I will ask the question, though. You said the survey said they would leave if a better opportunity arose. Why would the better opportunity be you?
Better opportunity be for us is because we can help organisations make better use of their existing networks, scale customer relationships. Most digital disruptive platforms in that sector are trying to almost dismantle the traditional way of managing wealth to create its own new ecosystem. So looking at the model of companies such as Uber, for example, where they've created this new ecosystem. But what we want to do is add value to what they've already got and therefore help them to not only adapt to the current changes of technology, but also leverage the fact that in many organisations and in terms of wealth management, that customer relationship is still important and where digital technology won't necessarily replace that relationship. So helping them to make better use of those relationships is what we want to do.
Joel, can I just reel it back just a little bit? I'm a little bit confused for some of the elements you're suggesting. Mm-hmm. Now, you described it as a professional services platform for wealth management. Would it be right? For me, what that says is pretty much you're advising people on best investments, say, or analysing their spend on the best investments, and
actually,
like an IFA? Or,
no, that was a clarify, yeah. Absolutely. So we believe we're sector agnostic in that helping any company to manage their resources is a challenge for most businesses, and also increasing profitability is something that's consistent in most businesses. So we've created ourselves to be a business-to-business support platform. But our go-to-market is with the wealth management sector, just because that's where we've had most responses to what we're trying to do in terms of our technology and the type of support that we can provide in line with the current challenges that they have as a sector. So within professional services, what we'll be able to, as an area, it's about helping them to get better ways of managing their relationships through better use of their data internally. So if they know how to be more cost-effective what they're spending, they'll then know how to then support the needs of their most profitable customers long-term. So that's what we will be able to help them to do.
Would say that, for example, I'd say, okay, I'm spending £300 on an insurance policy. Actually, you don't really need to do that because company X over there probably offers it 100.
Exactly.
That kind of.
And also, for example, if you wanted to then increase, say for example, you were to decrease your marketing by 10%, but increase your HR spend by 5%, what would be the impact on your bottom line?
Understand.
Joel, it's Guy. I'm just kind of a little bit confused. I can kind of see the pedigree of the people that you've brought in and the build and all of this, but I'm confused really as to what you would do for me. If I'm running a wealth managers or whatever you, what would you actually come in and do? Would you be giving me tools? Would you give me procurement advice, CRM?
So I'll be giving you a tool to allow you to get better insights on that data that you have in your business based on that resource spend. Specifically within wealth management, what we can also do is help you then to look at who's your most profitable type of customer, so which type of business is bringing you the most money in, how much you're spending to service their need, and then make better decisions how to service those needs in the future.
And what's the difference between what you've got and what other tool sets have today? Because there's all, and pedigree people I accept, but what's the difference between what you've got and what other toolings around this have?
So for us, it's our inbuilt KPIs. So because we have a set of standard KPIs that we can relate to that analysis that we do, It helps you to make better decisions. So for example, which type of customer is going to give you better lifetime value? The attrition rate, our monthly revenue rate, our retention rates. So those types of KPIs allow you to make better financial decisions within the business. That for us is our difference, because as well as doing that, we can also allow you to create your own custom KPIs relevant for your business. So if you wanted to do more what-if scenarios, more better planning, more budget planning, relevant for your business, you can do that all within our platform using your own existing data.
I've got a question more around the growth. It sounded like you've assembled kind of like a team around you, a strong team of guys. Are they all working full time with you at the moment, or is it more advisory?
So the CTO and CFO, they're giving me equivalent to a week, a month in the business. The team that's built the actual platform, it's outsourced. So we have a bi-weekly conversation about the development of the platform. We used technology systems so I can see in real time who's working on what. The idea is that once we get to our first traction point, then we're able to bring those guys, the CTO and CFO, on board full time. However, both the CTO and CFO have been involved with the business from the start. So the last 2 years of planning and development and testing, they've been there from the beginning.
Is there like a plan to like onboard them full time?
Absolutely.
Where would that be?
So the idea for the CFO is to come on board within 3 months, CTO to come on board within 6.
Neil, you used to work in this sector.
Well, I didn't want to mention it because
How come
normally...
you didn't get an OBE?
Yeah,
No?
that's a very good question. My brother did. That's another story, but...
Think about the skills. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, gents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How did you think that went?
It was really good. It's a great experience.
Yeah.
I love the questions, the challenging, gets you really thinking.
Yeah.
But I was really pleased with how I pitched and getting the idea across. And what most importantly, they got what I was trying to do. So
Yeah, I
really
must admit, the pitch was one of the more succinct we've had. So congratulations on that, if nothing else.
It's practice. It's practice, preparation and practice, and I will keep practicing, taking on board their comments and keep moving that forward.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much.
No, thank you for your
Brilliant.
time. Appreciate it.
And,
Thank you.
Good luck.
Cheers. Thank
you very much.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
So, 2 down. Let's get the next one in. Hi, how you doing?
Very well, thank you very much.
Good. So, what's your name? Where'd you come from?
Sam Morgan. I'm from Clarkson Direct, and I'm based out in Taunton.
Taunton. So
Yeah.
there's that. Where's that in the
That's
world?
in Somerset.
Somerset. So, have you come up from Somerset this morning?
Yeah, you persuaded me to do so. So yeah, I was quite willing and keen to actually do this.
Blimey. So far, has it been a worthwhile trip?
Yeah, we've met some really fun and interesting people who've made us think slightly differently from the beginning of the day.
Good. Well, look, I won't hold you longer. Go and pitch to our judges. Good luck, and we'll see you back in here after for a bit of a debrief.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Good
Cheers
luck.
now.
Thank you very much. So, let's see how he does in front of our judges.
Oh, hello, gentlemen. Hi, I'm Sam Morgan, and I'm from Clarkson Direct. I'm going to open up with a couple of questions. When you have legal services, advice or representation, did you know you could go to a barrister? Now, you don't know that, of course, but actually, since 2004, the public have been able to go to barristers. What we do at Clarkson Direct is to assist the public to make these choices. Now, 2004, the DTI basically said, right, we need to open the market up. Now, going to a barrister quite often is cheaper than going to a solicitor. So where do we come into this? Well, Clarkson Direct. What we do is, since 2014 our company was formed, we give access to the members of the public to get advice or representation by barristers. What we do, we make it clear the client knows what they're paying. Quite often when you go to legal services, you do not know what you're going to pay. They will give you an hourly rate and the bill can go sky high. What we do is make it simple. They make it simple, that's why they gave me to do the pitch, because I'm fairly simple. So, quite literally, what we do is the client comes on, we get barristers to quote on their work. How do we earn our money? Well, the way we earn our money is there's the barrister's fee, and then we put 20% on top. So it's 120%. Why are we here? Well, that's a good question. You didn't ask it, but I'll answer it for you. Because people still don't know about it. You all nodded your head and said, well, I'm not sure about this. I don't know that this is true. We've got marketing partners, we've got other people within the legal services, and the people who already know about this service. But there is 25 billion per year being spent on legal services. We think we can take between 10 and 20% of that and cutting the cost for the public. Now, the way we earn our money, as I said, is the 20%. The client pays for it, so we're client focused. But what we're here saying is we need the tools in order to get that message out. Our governing body has never done that, but I'm hoping that you will. This is where, if it's under 3 minutes, I smile, look awkward, and hopefully I'll get some feedback soon.
Sam, I've got to be the first to talk to you. Having going through the legal process myself at the moment, I will say that my barrister's fees are inherently more than my solicitor. I just wanted to point that out. And plus also 20% commission on a fee for a barrister. Does that mean, you know, the fees from the barristers we're talking to are quite depreciated in cost, or how does that work?
The way it works, you've got to think of two things. We've cut the solicitor out of the market. That's why we're disrupting the market.
Yeah.
It's giving client choice. You were told how much the barrister was charging.
Yes.
Did you question it?
I did.
Did you say, can you find someone cheaper?
I didn't.
Well, you should.
I took it as read that it
exactly.
was £1,200 an hour.
Why did you not compare that? See, I would have done. Why wouldn't you not?
Yeah,
why
Neil,
would you
why
not
didn't
ask
you?
that question?
What's wrong with you, man?
I trusted my solicitor.
Oh, well, you're stupid.
You're just too trustworthy. That's your problem.
You trusted a lawyer?
Yeah, that's another question for another day. So what the whole idea, the whole concept is to allow people to go, you know what, I can make a informed choice. I've got whatever the money is. This is what I've got to spend. Clarkson Direct, can you find somebody for this fee? It's set fees, so you know along the way what you're going to be charged. Because you know what happens is then they send you another letter, which they charge you for another letter, and there's another bill that comes along.
I hope my folks aren't watching this, because this
They're
question is going to sound really weird. They're both. I come from a family of lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, but the difference, for the public, what's the difference between a barrister and a solicitor, and what time would you need the specific services, and why would you know to go to a barrister? Because I just think if I need legal advice, the first place I start is a solicitor. I never thought about going to a barrister. So there's obviously an educational play there, but what is it?
There is an educational play, but you know what a barrister looks like. So it has a great brand. The wig, the gown, we know what a barrister does. There are differences, of course, but the training that now the barristers can do virtually changes the landscape since 2004, and there was another change in the recent 2 or 3 years ago, which basically means that barristers, if they've got that certificate, can run the case like a solicitor. So our job is to give them the choice. So there are differences, but once again, unless you make those inquiries and that you're aware that you can make those choices, then it's difficult to know. I agree, people will have that problem, and will also have that problem with regards to knowing that you can come to a barrister directly. That is a problem which we're trying to solve.
Can I ask you something, sir?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not being disrespectful in any way, shape or form, but I see so many brokerage sites on trades and professions. This is obviously a unique one on barristers, but they're on all sorts. You know, they're an engine which puts together people who have a trade or skill with people who want it, obvious thing. What's unique and what are the barriers of entry to yours? What's to stop me setting up in a month's time?
What's unique is obviously we've already got access to the market, okay? We're already there, okay? Also, what we've done, there are other sites out, you can look at them, but what we've done is, for the barrister, they can join for free. They can join for free. What we've done is the back-end computer spec, where everybody does stuff online to take costs out. Also, they have an administrative hub, which is myself and others, to also assist the process along the way. At the moment, we are at about 64% conversion rate. And when we mean by conversion rate is, that's the money we take them. So 64% is the conversion rate. I understand what you're saying, but what we are doing is reinvesting. There are other chambers who obviously do public access, but they're not reinvesting, and they've only got one set of chambers, whereas we've got the access to all the barristers' chambers. I don't know if I've answered your question, but you nodded.
No, it's kind of that, but you also say you're building something of a platform so that people can do things better with what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. We're a year into our business, so what we're trying to do is build other stuff where people can have video conferences, pay as you go, stuff like that. We've also, which is slightly to one side, is that we're working with Cambridge University, building an iRobot, basically answers all of the questions for the barristers before they know that they need to come to see a lawyer. And it also fills it out because, as you can imagine, there's some people who just need a short, quick answer.
I do like what you're offering for many reasons, really. But if I was to come to you, say if I'm getting divorced, you would find a divorce barrister for me?
Yeah.
And how that process would work?
The process would be, depending on where you are in your process, but let's say that you're at a hearing, an FDA, FDR, final hearing, where you're sharing out the money, okay? You'll be given a court date. I'd find barristers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 barristers, and say, look, can you quote this gentleman for that? And then you pick out, look at their CVs and go, yeah, I like that. They don't have to be in all the same sets of chambers. It's the client's choice because I'm working for you. Or you say, look, Sam, I've got X amount of money. That's all I've got to spend. Can you go and find someone for me?
Okay. So it's not really like a compare the barrister, is it?
Well,
a bit more than that, really.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit more than that because obviously, being the biggest in the market, you're driving the prices down because you've got people quoting. So we're looking after the client's interest. So by doing that, we're going, well, this is what the client's offering. Will you accept that price?
If I lose my job and I get drunk and it's Christmas Eve and I go shoplifting and I'm in the police station and still inebriated, the last thing I'm going to think
This sounds too real.
Well, it could be, but it is nearly Christmas. But the first thing I'm not going to think is, I better call a barrister. I mean, a barrister, it's a perception thing that most people don't know what a barrister is.
Yeah.
How are you changing
we have marketing partners, so we also have businesses who partner with us. So they get the message. Sorry, am I going off track? So we have marketing partners. So the marketing partners, so they would send clients market with us because we need that message to go out. The conversion of the 20%, they get 10% of it. We do the admin. So by spreading our love, basically everyone sort of works within that.
I'm going to take your details before you leave.
I think you should.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I think you should.
Excellent.
One customer?
Yes.
One satisfied customer. As, what was his name? 40 Towers did. One satisfied customer had him stuffed. So, is that it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, what can I say?
They seem to like me.
If nothing else, you got yourself one client.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no, fantastic. That seemed to go really, really well.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I might need a drink. It's been lovely. I've had a really great day. You guys are doing amazing stuff. I would recommend that to anyone to come and actually experience this.
Brilliant.
Because you have to think about your business slightly differently
Yeah.
than you would have done at the beginning of the day. Because you think you might know the answer, but actually maybe you don't.
No, well, that's fantastic. Look, I'm really pleased. And what fantastic feedback. Thank you
Thank
very,
you so
very
much.
much. And good luck. And fingers crossed we'll see you back.
Excellent. Cheers, now.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. So what can I say? One incredibly satisfied customer. Shall we see if the rest are? Bring the next one on.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? David, nice to meet you.
Mark, nice to meet you.
So, well, Mark's your name, but where'd you come from?
I come from a worldwide computer company based in Manchester.
Fantastic. And do you get out doing this often? Is this a regular occurrence for you, pitching in front of judges and VCs? And
There's been quite a few, yeah. Although pitching to people sort of in the industry who actually understand a bit more about what we do and being able to just go straight into it and explain what our grid is about will be quite refreshing, to be honest.
Well, if you meet those people, please do tell me. But no, come on, our judges will be good. Hey, good luck.
Thanks
Enjoy
very much.
it, and we'll see you back in here afterwards for a little bit of a debrief.
All right.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Here goes nothing.
So he thinks he's going to go and talk to some computer experts. Well, we shall see. Speak to you in a bit.
Hi, judges. How you doing?
Hey, Mark.
Hi. Okay. My name is Mark McAndrew. I'm founder and CEO of the Worldwide Computer Company. And thanks for having us. And my pitch to you is fairly simple. How do you like the sound of the largest computing platform the world has ever seen? Not only that, but also the most environmentally friendly, and also the cheapest to use. It's called Charity Engine. And our grid currently has 460,000 home PCs participating in it, which anybody can hire and use like a virtual cloud or a virtual supercomputer. We have a few unfair advantages compared to any other computing platform. The main one being, of course, that this is hardware that already exists. It is already switched on. It is just being underused. So we don't have to buy any hardware. It's there. We don't have to pay the electricity bill. This is other people's computing, and they are contributing their spare computing power to our grid. And the thing that motivates them to do so is because we've partnered with some international charities, hence the name. These include Amnesty, Care International, ActionAid. These are all sort of world-famous frontline agencies. And because of that, we share a proportion of the profits with these guys, which is why they are partners with us. That is also the thing that motivates people to allow us to run, or for them to download the Charity Engine app, which sits on PCs. There's also the Android version of it. And when the PC is idle, which is most of the time, the average PC is working at about 1% of its capacity around the world, it will become contributing a proportion of its surplus capacity to the Charity Engine grid. We then make the grid available to hire to ethical companies only, and also to science researchers, universities, that kind of thing. And the result is a giant computing platform that costs almost nothing to run, and we can sort of sell the computing time on it for a fraction of the cost of any comparable platform. It's also incredibly efficient in that we can do things like move computing to the coldest places in the world. Midnight in Canada, use those computers. And it will just make the central heating work a bit less. Midday in Dubai, turn those off, because that will obviously fire up the air conditioning. So you have a super green, virtual planetary supercomputer, which is kind of what the internet is. It is 3 billion machines that are all joined together. It is a giant machine. And technically, the software to harness this has been around for 10 years. But if you want to get billions of machines working together, you do have to persuade billions of PC owners. And that is basically what Charity Engine is doing quite successfully. So when we turn on our online adverts, it grows by 30,000 machines per day, which is about the size of a normal cloud. And the only reason that we've paused our growth at the moment is because we are at the maximum our servers can take. And as soon as we have a bit more demand, a bit more money in the bank, we're going to just keep on growing until it is literally the world's biggest platform. That's Charity Engine. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Massive. Now, this has just sent me into a dilemma, to be honest. And I don't want the details specifically, but just what considerations you've had around transaction control, commitment control, security, what sort of managing platform you're putting onto this. Conceptually, don't have a problem, but in terms of putting this to any sort of commercial use, because the cycles is not usually the biggest issue here.
Correct.
It's usually the question of how do you control and manage this thing. What have you done so far on that? Just give us a synopsis of that, just reassurement.
Well, to begin with, we use open source software called BOINC, B-O-I-N-C. It's a terrible name. The acronym stands for Berkeley Open Source Infrastructure for Network Computing. Created by Professor David Anderson of Berkeley University, who is now one of our advisors and a good friend. The software was designed from the ground up for this form of volunteer computing. It is extremely secure. In 10 years and about 6 million downloads, it has never had a single security issue. And we don't just let anybody use the grid. It's B2B only, and we vet everything that goes on it. And this isn't just for our benefit. This is contractual. We do have large ethical policies signed with those charity partners. So the thing has to be for like good use only. And it's kind of self-policing in that if anything dodgy were to be on it, well, it is a public grid. People would see it and they'd be up in arms about it. So in some respects, you could say it's a bit like Apple and the App Store. Everything that goes on it has to come through us. It is not a general purpose thing. The software doesn't let you take over the computer. It only lets you do a handful of applications that have been pre-vetted, that come through us, that are digitally signed, using codes on a laptop that has never been connected to the internet, and even I don't know its location, etc., etc. So it's yes, there is the element of trust is that we potentially could do something dodgy with it. But obviously we won't, because it would just destroy our own company. Our customers certainly can't, because we are vetting everything before it goes out. And there is literally nothing they can do that can cause any damage to any computer.
Mark, you say you are at capacity yourself. You said earlier your servers are at capacity at the moment. I thought you were actually utilising other people's.
We are, but you need a little.
Is that just on monitoring capacity?
You need a sort of command and control centre to control all the rest of the machines. Doesn't need actually that much. It's about £20,000 worth of hardware is controlling 500,000 machines, and it scales very, very easily. Volunteer computing is perfect for that. With another £20,000 worth of hardware, double it, we could probably control 2 to 3 million machines.
I'm not, Mark, I'm really not technical, okay, but I'm just thinking the applications for something like this, because, you know, lots of home computers, like latency, things like that. What applications would customers be using this for?
There's a certain class of computation which is particularly good for this, and they call it embarrassingly parallel. So it's anything that needs lots and lots of very similar simulations doing. So climate modelling is a very good one. Molecular modelling is another good one. Material science, so looking for molecules that might have commercial applications in things like batteries, solar cells, protein folding, fundamental medical process. And what they do with that one is they sort of send out the molecule to 10,000 machines. They'll all play around with it, simulating it. They'll all send their results back, and one of them will be the lowest energy configuration of that molecule. And that will be actually how that protein folds. They'll have discovered how it works, because it always goes to the lowest energy configuration. And anything like that where you need to do lots and lots of simulations over and over again, because you'll get slightly different results every time. These things are ideal. Monte Carlo, there's a whole class of them. To be fair, certain things where, as you mentioned, latency, true high-performance computing where all the nodes have to talk to each other very fast, no. Those kinds of applications are not suitable for this. But the class of applications that are suitable for this, there is nothing better. The internet is 3 billion machines, there's another few billion smartphones every night with their quad-core multi-gigahertz processors, and they're all watching a battery charge. That's all they're doing. You know, it can all be harnessed. Technically, it's easy.
I've seen Charity Engine out there, so, you know, and I get how the technology works.
Yeah.
What I've never quite understood about your company is, and you included it in your pitch, you said ethical companies only.
Yeah. Well, it's ethical tasks.
Ethical tasks.
Yeah.
How do you vet this in a way that doesn't mean wasting a lot of your time? I mean, is there a certain amount of time versus a certain amount of commitment from a company?
You wouldn't want things like weapons research being done on it. But equally, most of the guys that would come along with something that we go, ooh, no, they won't actually come along with it. They wouldn't do their weapons research on a public grid. So the edge cases, and touch wood, we haven't had any yet, would be something like, I don't know, some company comes along that wants to use it, say some multinational soft drinks company that's poisoning groundwater in India, saying no names. But one of our charity partners has a real problem with them, and should they come along to use our grid, they would probably say, don't let them. And if they did, we would, what the charities say is, we go with them 100%. So it's kind of, as I say, self-policing in that there aren't that many really unethical computing tasks out there. It is mostly fairly boring commercial stuff or really quite cool science stuff.
We could do all these things, like we could DDoS everybody in the whole wide world, but we won't because we're nice.
Yeah.
We could turn over 500,000 PCs and we could put out malware onto 500,000 PCs, but we won't because we're nice.
Yeah.
We could do all of this. What is the control on you to make that? Because I'm sure you're a lovely fella. But on the other hand, is my belief in you being a lovely fella doesn't mean that I'm going to turn over 500,000 PCs to you.
Well, we already have 500,000 PCs.
That's what I'm saying. But what we're running through is you could be doing all sorts of stuff.
Yes,
what is the control on you to stop you doing that?
Why build the world's biggest machine and then destroy it?
That's the only regulation.
Pretty much. I mean, if we wanted
Corporate
to, yes, we could. Yes, if we wanted to send out malware, us. I mean, none of our customers can do that. Can use the grid to do that. But if we did, well, you'd struggle actually with Boink because of the way it's designed. But I'm trying to think of the worst possible thing it can do. I mean, it can't even see the file system. It's not even that we can't even talk to the computers. They have to come and ask our servers for work. But okay, assume there is some malware we could send out. Okay, we do that. There's a massive uproar. People uninstall the software in droves or antivirus it or whatever, and we just killed ourselves. No one has to take our word for it that Boink is safe and secure. IBM uses it, passes security audit for them, BBC, Intel, etc. This is not our little black box that we're saying, trust us, it can't see your files. It's like, there it is, it's open source, go and have a look. It genuinely can't see your files, it genuinely can't do any of these things. You could make that argument to anything. You could say to Microsoft, why didn't you put a little bit of malware in Microsoft Word? It's on 100 million machines. Well, bye-bye Microsoft Word. Why on earth would you even consider that?
So what companies have you got out of those 500,000 or 160,000 computers? Can you name a few companies?
Companies what?
That are sharing,
Use
utilising, or you're utilising their processing power?
We don't use companies, it's all home computers. There are 7 times more computers in homes than there are in companies.
Skynet, that's what happened.
Well, yeah,
well, the only thing more dangerous than creating Skynet is let someone else create it.
Yeah, like Neil. Yeah. That'd be a disaster.
World
End
domination.
of the world.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank
Mark.
You, Mark.
Thanks very much.
Guys.
Brilliant.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
So, how did you think that went?
I have absolutely no idea, but it seemed okay.
Well, I thought it went pretty well. And from someone who's actually got quite a lot of experience using Boink, the old Berkeley Open Infrastructure for Network Computing.
Cool.
I know exactly how it works. And actually, do you know what? What you're doing is really cool. And with the charity edge on it, I think you've got a lot of legs there. And I'm sure the judges will see that.
Oh, I hope so, because it has kind of proved itself.
No, fantastic. Well, anyway, look, good luck.
Thanks, eh?
Fingers crossed we'll see you back soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
So brilliant. So, great cause, great technology. Let's see if the next one proves to be as fruitful. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Nice to meet you. How you doing? So what's your name? Where'd you come from?
Leslie Golding from Food and Film.
Fantastic. So, food and film. I'm guessing that's food and film?
Yep.
Brilliant. So, you sell food or sell films?
We are an app that delivers food and movies together from smart TV.
Genius. Well, look, good luck.
Okay.
And we'll see you back in here for a debrief afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. So, next one goes in. Let's see how he does.
Hi, I'm Leslie. I'm from a company called Food and Film. We're an app that delivers food and movies on demand directly from your smart TV. So we're focusing on disrupting the online food delivery market with the help of the world's 2 largest TV manufacturers, Samsung and LG. So imagine you are coming home, your family man, you've come home to your family and you're hungry, it's about 7 o'clock at night, and you walked into the door and your family's sitting in your living room, your kitchen, and everyone's on their own devices, tablets, phones, or the main screen of the room, the TV. You're trying to engage them to order some food, no one's interested. Trying to pull the kids off watching their favourite programme on iPlayer, can't. So, Food and Film, we came up with an idea where we actually have the whole thing on the TV itself. So the food's in HD, and you can order on demand with your PIN and your credit card preloaded. We got there because we saw in the last 3-4 years a huge growth in the online food delivery market. It's now worth £6.7 billion out of a total takeaway market of 30 billion. And we saw also a smart TV market grow. I was involved in a previous company called Ace Tracks that was a direct-to-TV movie on-demand store that was built up from 2006 to 2012 when it sold to Sky. At that point, the connectivity was around about 20%, so 80% of TVs were put on the wall, no one ever used them, no one ever connected them to the internet. Now, the manufacturers have changed it so that 95% of TVs are connected, because the first thing you do is you put your Wi-Fi code in and then you start tuning the channels, so they're all connected. And the Samsung and LG have around about 3 to 4 million users a week using apps such as iPlayer and Amazon about 2 or 3 times a week. It's a big market. We started 2.5 years ago. We partnered with a logistics company called One Delivery, which goes out and picks up from Burger King, KFC, McDonald's, various other brands that everyone knows, and delivers up and down the country, as well as Bevy in London, which is a drinks company that delivers overnight, so between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. within 30 minutes. Together with movies, and we built this ecosystem for smart TVs so you can buy food and film together in one app. And at the moment we're running a promotion, so I can show you. It's a promotion being done with Samsung, hand it out. And Samsung are basically pushing that. It's a promotion where you spend more than £20, you get a free movie. We can do that uniquely because we have the two worlds together, the food and the movies world. And if you order a takeaway and you start watching the movie and you press pause, a tracker comes up, you can see exactly where your food is from the moment it's in the oven to being tracked to where it is to your house. In the future, that'll be on a bike, you can see your house and you can see the bike coming. It's an app that is developed specifically for smart TVs, bringing together the worlds of food and movies.
I've never used an app on a television. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. Why not just go to someone like Netflix, you directly, and advertise through them?
Yeah. Well, Netflix is a subscription service. We do, our movies are transactional.
Yeah.
You're right. We are, and this is part of the attraction of what we're doing. We're category first. There is no other app on the TV right now that does anything other than digital.
Yeah.
So yes, we have movies, but it's more of an impulse purchase. You're adding movie to your basket. So your food is our main focus, but you can add movies. A bit like in the old days when you used to go to a garage, you used to see a movie in the basket and add it to the bill. And that's part. You're not going to the garage to get the movie, but you'll add that Star Wars DVD in the old days. So us very much is a case of we are a food store. We're called Food and Film, and people are coming to our store in order to buy food, but they can also buy a movie.
Rent a movie, or yeah.
We offer them to rent. So that's it's a standard industry. So you 48 hours, it will expire.
Yeah.
Or you can alternatively buy it and then own it permanently. It's stored in the cloud under My Movies.
As a consumer with this though, I mean, you've got one delivery company, Bevy, those people supplying it, and then you obviously got the deal here that you get if you buy the food, you get the free movie.
Yep.
Going forwards, is it cost effective? How's it cost effective for the family? If it's a family, they're worried about cost, expenditure. Wouldn't it be just easier to separate it out?
Not quite sure. Follow questions.
I'm just thinking of that. The cost of it. If you're a consumer and you've got to pay people to pick up the food, and obviously there's a cost for that. There's a cost to go to the movie. There's the film. Person who delivers the film, Samsung, or whoever delivers it, what's it going to cost for the consumer?
Well, first of all, I mean, should be very clear. So we deliver everything. It's a bit like, I mean, I'm just going to say Amazon, but you have an account, Food and Film, and you have your credit card pre-installed. It's all set out there so that when you basically put your postcode into your local area, you'll see your local food suppliers come up. In the future, what we're doing is we're going to be signing up directly to chains, pizza chains, and other companies, but the point right now is that we're just starting with these two companies to start with. You can see exactly what is the price. So let's say it's $4.99 or $3.99 to deliver the food, because that's the cost of it, or £5 for bevy. You can think, well, actually, if I order a whole meal that's perhaps £20, £30, it'll cost me about £4 or £5 just to get in the car and use a petrol to go down the road to get the food in the first place. Here we have a choice from sitting in your living room without going anywhere to choose it. So seeing the food and also having everyone participate and join in, as I said at the beginning, to engage in the actual order process is part of what our USP is. And so you can always choose, you can say, okay, this is definitely something we want to do. I want to order that. We know it's going to cost $4.99 to deliver it, and you can make a choice at that point. And also we have a scenario when you log back in, if you've made an order, it's got your previous order there, so you can just basically order again. So a lot of people do that.
I don't cook. I haven't cooked since 2003, and even then it was a disaster. I just don't cook. I only order takeaways and eat out. So I get it, and I do get why these things are appealing to people. But it's interesting coming from a television, but I also own a Samsung TV, and I know the way Samsung run their apps is that they have their main apps on the front page, and hundreds of other apps sitting in the back end, which people never really look at. I mean, there's all sorts of silly things out there. How are you going to make sure your app is visible?
So, a very good question. So, we're currently App of the Month from Samsung TV on the Samsung.com website. We're in the What's New kind of section of Samsung. The investment that we need to raise now is specifically to go into marketing our app, so that when you first click on that button, it comes up right next to BBC iPlayer and the other apps there. And so people do click on it and see Food and Film, the Knife and Fork, and kind of go and see, oh, if I put my postcode in, I'll see what's in my area.
How does that work? I mean,
So we have to work together with Samsung, which is what we're doing, and LG. I shouldn't forget LG, because
you pay them a lot of money, basically.
We have to pay them money, and they get a revenue share of everything that we sell. So it's in their interest that we build this category. Part of the fact that we're actually proving this new form of kind of television commerce, but that is exactly where we want to try and get to focus on their specific users who have got smart TVs that are going out to those users. Those are the ones we want. So there's no point in us doing a huge campaign with, like, say, Just Eat on tubes, etc., because a lot of people don't have smart TVs. So we're really looking at the people like yourself who will basically go to the iPlayer or Amazon Prime or anything else that you're doing, and then suddenly see this new app come up saying Food and Film, and click on it and try it.
I might try that tonight.
Fantastic. Good luck to come into the future, and fingers crossed you're getting the team into reality. So thank you very much.
Great.
Cheers. Brilliant. So another one down. I think we can only get another one in. Let's go. Hi, how you doing?
Hi Dave.
Nice to meet you. So what's your name and where are you from?
Dylan Bourguignon from Social.
Fantastic. So do you get out and about and do much pitching? Is this quite a normal day for you?
Well, it's kind of a normal life of an entrepreneur, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So how long have you been up and running for?
We've been live since the beginning of this year. So
beginning of this week, that would have been beginning of this year.
Yeah. So we've been live earlier this year, and doing really well. So it's very exciting.
Well, look, good luck. Get in front of the judges and go well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. So last one in. Let's see how he does. Wish him luck.
Yep.
So, last or best?
Yes, indeed.
Believe it. Or best for last.
So I'm Dylan from Social. We provide consumers with better and up to 80% cheaper insurance. The reason we exist is that consumers no longer trust insurance companies. The words used are a necessary evil. And the two main issues they have about kind of insurance companies: too expensive, and when you claim, it's painful. Whether it's a process or the small print, it always feels like you're kind of a thief and they're not wanting to pay you out, but you're the customer. So we decided to do something about it. And instead of having insurance designed for the insurance company, we decided to actually design it for the customer. And so that's how we designed Social, which is better and up to 80% cheaper. So on the better side, starts with that horrible document, the terms and conditions, which is normally written for lawyers rather than consumers. Ours is actually written in plain English and actually completely readable. But more importantly, when you buy the insurance, it's super simple. It's a few clicks. You download the app. We'll actually tell you what you're covered for and what you're not covered for, and within a minute you can actually buy the policy, having a very clear understanding of what's your cover. We've launched in the UK with mobile phones, mobile phone insurance. And so in terms of actually when you come to claim, we'll have a phone in your hand the next working day, as opposed to up to 25 days for the insurance companies. So along all that, it's about customer service. So we've got people who will actually be answering any of your questions at any point in time along your journey with us. That's on the better side. Now on the cheaper side, we start off by being up to 40% cheaper than the networks. And then after that, you can get up to 80% money back every year if you and your friends don't claim. And the way it works is once you bought your policy, you can then, we create a reward pot for you. And for you can then connect to your friends. And every time you connect to a friend, you and your friend will get £10 added to your reward pots. You can connect to as many people as you want until your reward pot is worth 80% of the value of your premium. At the end of the year, if you and your friends haven't claimed, that money is paid out to you. And if one of your friends does claim, then some of your reward pot will be used to provide your friend with a great claim experience. Basically, rewarding people who are careful. Isn't that how it should be? So, we are social.com. Social, better, and up to 80% cheaper.
So, if I sign Neil up and Neil loses his phone, it's going to cost me from my pot. I'm not going to be friends with Neil after that.
You're not friends with me now, Andrew.
Well, that's true, but I mean, it's a different way of thinking.
Yeah, but you're benefiting off me as well.
Okay.
Remember, you've already paid up to 40% less than the networks.
Yeah.
So this is effectively free money that you would never get by anybody else.
Yeah.
That you would get if you and Neil don't claim.
I still don't want to be your friend. Okay.
It's mutual, Andrew.
Dylan, what's the credibility and credentials of your company?
Our paper is backed by Salva and Munich Re.
Less worried particularly about but what history have you had in the insurance business? What about the people around you? Because this seems like a fairly radical offer.
Yep.
And I just want to make sure that if I was entertaining this, that it was underpinned by something that was rock solid. Because to me, I'm listening to this as a Joe Punter. I'm thinking, yeah, why can I get some of this? But I've got to make sure that there is something that's credible behind that.
Of course. So my background is I was in private equity for a decade, and actually most of that was looking at financial services and insurance in particular. So that's how I got to understand the whole value chain and how insurance works. And if you think about what we're doing, I'll be honest, we haven't invented anything. What I've done is gone back to how insurance started 4 centuries ago and just brought 21st century technology to make it work. It is like how the mutual societies used to work. People knew and trusted each other, had each other's backs. Now, in terms of the people who are around us, our investors and my board are actually people who've got a deep insurance experience, who've been in the industry for 30 years. These are people who actually kind of understand how fundamentally kind of game-changing what social is doing, and also recognize, kind of the, and make sure that kind of the insurance aspects are absolutely kind of covered. And, you wouldn't have a company like Munich Re behind us if we weren't being solid.
Do you know, Dylan, I'm struggling here really. That normally, when something's too good to be true, it normally is.
My concern.
And I'm a bit.
That's kind of something
there's a gotcha coming.
I think it's that insurance companies are just the spawn of Satan at the best of times. And if I've got this right, you're saying you've created a cooperative, almost insurance company, which is wow, if that's true. But there must be a catch.
Why should there be?
Because they're insurance companies.
But I'm not. That's the point. This is why we exist. Is because they are kind of abusing of consumers' trust, and why they're not providing the peace of mind that us consumers want.
The difficulty I'm trying to say is that, as I heard the pitch, you're going to be 40% cheaper, and I get 80% back, which basically says that on the dollar I pay something like 15 cents on the dollar or on that. That would imply that the insurance companies are making 85% profit. That would be my implication of what I'm thinking there. If I'm getting the same service from you as I'm getting from them, and I'm paying 15 cents as opposed to $1, then these guys are making a hell of a lot of money.
You're being rewarded when you and your friends aren't claiming. So there's.
So this is a disincentive to claim. You're trying to get fraudulent claims out of the way.
Exactly. So the reason mutual societies work really well is because you didn't have fraud and you didn't have moral hazard, which is actually rife right now, because people have so much distrust in insurance companies that when they can actually put in a claim, even if they don't really need it, they'll put it in. And then when they put it in, they'll kind of jack up as much as they can to try and get as much out of the insurance company. Now, unfortunately, that's a vicious circle, because what happens is the insurance companies will basically then create the kind of claim process really painful for anybody who actually wants to do this, to make sure they don't pay out so much. And also, they then put the prices up. So as a result, it's kind of a vicious circle we're in. What we're creating is a kind of virtuous cycle where actually you're providing, you're actually promoting and encouraging good behavior, which we're all kind of capable and are willing to do, and actually rewarding people for it.
Is this just going to be mobile or other areas as well? Because I can understand on a mobile that, you know, people, I broke my screen, I need to upgrade my phone to the latest, I've lost it. But you mentioned that at the moment it's the mobile space. I'm guessing there's some plans to bring this into other areas, yeah?
They are.
And I bet, will you like car insurance, things like this as well, or is it more like personal belongings?
More to follow, but for the time being, we're focused on mobile phone insurance.
Right.
Does anybody else have this concept any other part of the world, or?
Not in the fundamental way that we've done it. I mean, there are other players who have done peer-to-peer elements of insurance. In the UK, we've got Guevara, who's done online mutuals, which is kind of an element of that peer-to-peer. And we've got Friendsurance in Germany, which was a broker, which has a kind of a network and reward basis on mutualization of excess.
Well, nice to meet. I do like it. Let me know when you widen it out to car insurance. Fantastic.
You wouldn't insure him. I'm certainly not going in your friendship list.
Thank you very much, Dylan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, bit of disbelief to start with, but I think you pulled it back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it went really well, actually. So, fingers crossed. I mean, it's interesting, a real story of disruption.
Yes.
Disrupting an established mafia industry, almost.
Yes. But it needs to be done.
Yeah, no, completely.
Consumers are not getting the peace of mind that they're buying when they're buying insurance right now. And that's just wrong. Yeah. And that's just why we're doing this and why we believe that.
Yeah.
Social
you seem incredibly passionate about it, which is really nice.
Good. You have to be.
I couldn't agree more. Well, look,
great.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And fingers crossed we'll see you in the next round.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Bye for now.
Other pitches to face our judges included Tahar Faruqi from Insure Street, an innovative way of disrupting the property rental market.
So, we all hear about generation rent. It's in the news articles every other day. Our platform is completely data and tech driven, and the entire property experience is on mobile, where insurance is embedded in customer journey, as opposed to an afterthought.
How quickly do you take over the market? Because the second you've launched, there'll be a lookalike. If you do the 16th of January, by the end of January, there'll be a lookalike somewhere, unless we've got some proprietary control on this. So what have you got?
So what we've built is that integrated property-related experience. That doesn't exist. We've done that research in Europe, in the US, it does not exist the way we've built it.
Julie Purves from B2M Solutions, their mobile device analytics, was up next.
Can I see that a second? Is it just, where is it? Is there more people?
So this is an example. This device is actually from Zebra.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of their newest devices. So that's the device that, for example, postal workers, Royal Mail, other people are using those devices. We're not just a Me Too generic solution. We're able to help them really get the best from both their hardware or their services, because we really understand the real world issues in this type of business critical use of mobility.
Ed Martin from Kemp Technologies pitched software-defined load balancers.
A server load balancer effectively balances connections coming in to your data center and spreads them across the back-end servers.
What architecture does your software monitor? Is it any architecture, i.e. is it just Intel platforms, or could be monitor anything?
Well, so running the web-enabled applications.
Anything, any web-enabled application it can monitor?
Yeah, essentially. I mean,
balance.
if it's a web-based application, you'll be able to run it through the load balancer. Yeah. You'll get the metrics. In this single interface, you'll be able to look at how your data centers are performing. You can then drill into those data centers to see how your application delivery controllers, the Kemp kit, is running. You can then monitor below that what's actually happening with each application on each load balancer in each data center. So we're talking about complete end-to-end visibility of how that performance or how that application is performing.
Rosbek Bakar from City Falcon whose personalised finance newsfeed is powered by machine learning and crowd curation.
Our focus, our target audience, is anyone who is looking for fundamental financial news. This could be a retail investor or a trader, a research agency, a bank, hedge fund, anyone. It's time for us to throw away this experience of music cassette and think, when you leave this presentation in the future, you could be picking out your phone, you would be going, Siri Falcon, why is British Petroleum down 4%? And we will give you the answer. Thank you.
That's a very animated pitch for us, Brian.
Yeah,
Quite
thank
like
you.
that.
Got us lively. Thank you.
Move forward and maturity.
Yeah. So you're a news aggregator with
Yes.
some algorithms on the back end.
Yes.
That's what I can understand. Right?
That's in plain vanilla words, yes.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
think about it, as I said, between a music cassette and the Spotify experience. You can't think, you may not be easy for you to think, what is additional that you can provide over a financial news feed? We want you to spend less time reading financial news feed. We want to give you answers, make your life easier.
It was an interesting group of people.
Yep.
Lots and lots of different types of companies. I definitely think the highlight, Joel was really good for Felix. I liked Mark's pitch for Charity Engine,
Yep.
and I liked Dylan's pitch for SoSure. I thought they were all the most disruptive pitches that I heard. What about yourself, Neil?
For me, two clear winners. I like FMS, you know, the collection
Clarkson.
of compare a barrister, if you like, but
Yeah.
also the paper trail that you don't get at the moment when you engage your solicitor, history and it all in one place. It's a nice little benefit. On top of that, typically an awful lot cheaper than your standard solicitor. That's a big tick in my book.
Yep, works for me. Second one?
Close second. SoSure, really.
SoSure.
Only because it's really an innovative.
Well, it was very disruptive.
Yeah.
And do you know what? If we're looking at where we want to go with this, I think finding those traditional industries that want to be disrupted or need to be disrupted, that could be a very interesting one. So
I also like food and film because I like
You've got to
food and
say
film.
on television.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why.
But for Team Andy, I'd say SoSure.
Oh, Team Neil, FMS.
done, short and sweet, perfect. Well, on that bombshell, it's been another absolutely fantastic evening, and yeah, only leaves me to say thank you.
Thank you, Dean.
And thank you.
And thank you.
And let's see you next month for another Disruptive Pitch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.